Hi folks, how you all doing? Back here for another fight card prediction. We're going to be breaking down UFC Fight Night 62 from Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, as the welterweights Demian Maia and Ryan LaFlare main event here in a card which is not too bad, but with the Brazil cards, the Fight Night cards, you just never know. Last time we had a card down in Brazil, I think I went 1-10, sorry, with a lot of underdogs winning that, so you just never know with these cards down in Brazil. Fairly confident with a lot of my picks in this. Coming off UFC 185 at the weekend, a fantastic card, one of the best cards we've seen in a long time, and some performances which I didn't see coming. Rafael dos Anjos, I've watched this fight 3 or 4 times, and it's an unbelievable performance he showed against Anthony Pettis. Sergio Pettis lost, so it was a bit of a bummer for me because I'm a big fan of the Pettis brothers, but they will be back. And Joanna and Jacek was absolutely phenomenal against Carla Esparza all week. I think she had the beating of her. I was trying to tell people on Twitter that Jacek was going to finish her, and she did so with aplomb. And to see a new champion from over here in Europe is brilliant. So we're getting on to this fight card here. Starting off in the flyweight division, we have Bentley Style against Freddy Serrano. Two guys who are in tough Latino America. Freddy Serrano, I think he's 1-0, Bentley Style 5-0, both lost in the first round. Freddy Serrano probably should have went through against Alejandro Perez, and Sila got just absolutely destroyed by Nunes, I think it was, Jose Teco, in the first round. I would normally side with the wrestler here, Serrano, who fought in the Olympics 2008, but he is 35 years old, and against Sila here, I've been speaking to a few people in Snapchat from American Top Team. Robert Whiteford's one of them, and Colby Covington has been another one as well, saying Sila has really looked very good since the attempt to drop down to 125, because he has been training at American Top Team. I like the underdog in this one. I'm going to go Bentley Sila by a decision victory, but could go either way, could be very close. Next up we have Jorge de Oliveira against Christos Giagos. Giagos, the former RFA lightweight champion. This is his second fight in the UFC. He fought Gilbert Burns in his debut, which is a tough fight for anybody, and got just destroyed in the first round and submitted as well. Oliveira lost his first fight in the UFC as well against Diego Lima. He just got taken down. He showed horrible takedown defense. Giagos is going to want to stand on his feet, so this could be a very competitive fight. Very close fight. I think Giagos has the more chance of a knockout, a finish in this fight. I am going to go Giagos by a decision. Next up we have Leonardo Mafra against Cain Carrizosa. Mafra making the drop down to 155 here from the welterweight division. Fought Rick Story last time out. He's a guy, I think he's a veteran of the Tough Brazil, the very first season, a way back. Fought UFC 147. I can't remember who he lost to, but Milton Vera might have been it. Lost that, went out in the regional circuit, won 5 or 6 fights, came back, faced Story, which is always a tough fight, lost, but he's made the drop down here. And I think this is the fight he can definitely win. He's got some big power, and I think he can hurt Carrizosa here. Carrizosa 6-1, 2 wins by TKO, 2 wins by submission, 2 wins by decision. Didn't show much in his debut against Chris Wade. He came out, tried to throw some shots. Wade, who is a better wrestler, took him down, submitted him fairly easily. Didn't see much. Seen more of him in his win in Bellator a way back before he came into the UFC. I don't think he's got much for Mafra here. I think if Mafra really wants to win this fight, he can take him out early, and I think he will. So I'm going to go Mafra by TKO in the second. Next up, we've got Leonardo Silva against Drew Dober. Silva is coming off a win over Charlie Brown in an arm triangle here, arm and neck triangle, and before that he lost to Mafra Dober. 17-2 record. Hasn't got much in his feet, but he does plant his feet, and if he connects, he will hurt you. But he's very good kind of everywhere else. His takedown defense is very good. Showed that against Mafra Dober, even though Mafra Dober did get him down, but Mafra Dober is a very good guy. He will continue to try and take you down, and once he gets you there, he's very dangerous. But he showed against Mafra Dober he's got good submission defense as well. But in his last fight against Brenneman, he just torched Brenneman and finished him by submission in the first. Drew Dober's coming off a win over Jamie Varner, which is nothing to really write home about. Varner pretty much knocked himself out, and then Dober just kind of finished him off. And Varner was on the decline as well, we'll have to say that. Before that, he lost to Nick Cain. Sean Spencer, he got outclassed on the feet there. Close fight in Brazil. I always go with the Brazilians a little bit. This is a very, very close fight. I like Leandro Silva, and I'm just going to take him by decision. Next up is a fight I'm really actually looking forward to. I think it's going to be a stand-up battle. Kevin Souza against Katsunori Kikuno in the featherweight division. Kevin Souza is a big guy in that division. I think he's like 15-2 record with a 9 or 10 TKOs, a very long reach, plants his feet, gets in and out fairly well, but he puts you at the end of his jab. He's a very long jab. He's got a really long reach, and against Kikuno here, he's a pretty fun guy to watch. This Katsunori Kikuno, he likes to stand up. He's got like the traditional karate background, but his defense, his striking defense is horrible. We saw against Tony Ferguson. I think he beat Quinn Mulhern, and he came in against Tony Ferguson. Now Tony Ferguson is a really good fighter in that lightweight division, but once he felt what Ferguson had, he literally started running away from Tony Ferguson, and then he got stopped in the first round. I like Kevin Souza here. If you play counter move, I think Kevin Souza is a great addition to your team, and he's cheap at 4,800. I would get him in your team. So I'm going to go Kevin Souza. I think he's going to knock him out in the first round. On to the main event of the prelims, we have Francisco Trinaldo against Akbarh Arreola. Francisco Trinaldo, a veteran of the sport, he's been around a long time. I think this is like 8th or 9th fight in the UFC within the last couple of years, and he's one of these guys who's just really tough to face, and I wouldn't. He's either really up or down. He kind of splits losses and wins. This time he beat Leandro Silva last time out. Before that, he lost to Michael Chiesa, beat Jesse Ronson. So he's one of these guys. He's very up and down, and he's very old, but he has a terrible gas tank. I'm really tempted to pick Arreola here, who's coming off a win over Eve Edwards. But Edwards was on the decline as well. I think I'm just going to go with Trinaldo here. I think he can get, the later the fight goes, I think he will get Arreola down, and he will submit him down there. If not, I think he'll get a fairly dominant decision victory. So Francisco Trinaldo for the W there. Now on the main card, we have a really good fight to start off the main card, a very competitive fight. Godofredo Castro Pepe against Andre Touchy-Fili. Now, I've talked a lot about Team Alpha Male in my previous videos. Andre Fili is one of these guys who I think is going to be a really good fighter in the featherweight division, and he's got a really tough test here in Pepe, who's actually in his last two fights has looked incredible. Knockouts over Noor Lahat, and I think it was a submission victory last time out against Deshaun Johnson, where he got him up and he got a mounted triangle armbar, and it was a beautiful submission. He's got himself 2 performance bonuses as well, and he's high in confidence here. Where Andre Fili, he came to Brazil last time. I think he beat Felipe Arantes, got a unanimous decision victory, which I thought was going to be a lot closer being in Brazil, but they gave him the decision victory, which was the right decision. Close fight, but I like Andre Fili. I think he can stop him in this one as well. Another guy on counter move who might accumulate a lot of points, so keep your eye on him if you play counter move. Andre Fili, I'm going to go second round TKO. Onto the lightweight division, we have Gilbert Burns against Alex Oliveira. This was supposed to be Josh Thompson against Gilbert Burns, which could have been a really competitive fight, but Alex Oliveira coming in here, 8-1 record. He is dangerous from the fights I've seen, but he is stepping up 2 or 3 classes in this fight here. And against Gilbert Burns, who is a big prospect in MMA, in the lightweight division especially, coming off that win over Hiagos. If you go to the ground with this guy, you're going to get submitted, and he likes to plant his feet as well. So I like Gilbert Burns. I like him by a finish. I like him to finish in the first round, if not early second round. So Gilbert Burns for me. Onto the women's bantamweight division, we have Amanda Nunes against Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler is on her way out. I think on the show, when she lost that fight in the show, she has pretty much been on the way out ever since. I think Juliana Pena beat her on the show. Since then, she's kind of went downhill a little bit. Amanda Nunes, very aggressive fighter. We've seen that in her fight against Kat Zingano. Was really close to finishing that fight against Zingano in the first round. Got her down, hurt her, unloaded some shots, but then Kat Zingano showed her trademark heart, came back, beat her up and got the stoppage victory. I think Amanda Nunes is just far too much for Shayna Baszler here, and Amanda Nunes for me by TKO. As I say, Shayna Baszler last time out against Beth Correa just got dominated on the feet, and I think Nunes hits harder than Correa, so Nunes by TKO for me. Lightweight division, we have Leonardo Santos against Tony Martin. Tony Martin's one of these guys. I think Tony Martin's underdog for this fight here, and I think I'm going to pick him to win this fight. It is very close. Leonardo Santos is fighting in Rio in his hometown, which is something to maybe keep an eye on as well, because he has been really good when he's in Rio. He won the Ultimate Fighter. I think he got the call to come back in to the Ultimate Fighter when somebody got injured. Came in and beat Patalino and beat him up in the final. Tony Martin's coming off a fabulous submission victory over Fabrizio Camois. Got himself a bonus as well. Before that, he lost to Rashid Magomedov, who's a really top fighter in that lightweight division. Beneil Dariush, he showed last week, he's a top fighter in that division. So I think Tony Martin's got enough here. Santos isn't good on his feet. He's not really... I think Martin can have him on his feet. I think when it goes to the ground, Santos obviously has the advantage. But Martin, I'm going to pick Martin for this. Santos, he should have lost a bit back to Norman Park. That was a bullshit decision where Park got a point taken off for grabbing his shorts, which was absolute fucking horse shit. Excuse my French. And plus it cost me money as well, so that's why I'm a little bit better about that. But I'm going to go Tony Martin by decision here. I think once the fight goes on and Santos kind of winds down a little bit, I think Martin can come on and hurt him a little bit and get the decision victory. So I'm going to go Tony Martin there. Co-main event, we have Erick Silva against Josh Koscheck here. Now, yeah, I like watching Erick Silva fight, but let's face it, who has he really fought and beat in that division, in that welterweight division? Not really many people. He beat Mike Rhodes last time out. Now, if you know me, I'm a fan of Mike Rhodes. I think we will see him back in the UFC and we'll see him winning and making his way up that division. Lost to Matt Brown. Could have beat Matt Brown. I think he should have jumped on Matt Brown when he hit him with that body shot. I've always said that Matt Brown is weak to the body. Before that, he beat Takanori Sato. Lost to Dong Young Kim via a vicious knockout. Beat Jason High. Lost to John Fitch in a very entertaining fight. Charlie Brenneman. The guy gets bonuses, and I can't see him not getting one here, because Josh Koscheck at UFC 184 looked horrendous. Landed a couple of shots in Ellenberger, but then he seemed to get touched in the eye, and then he wouldn't stop touching his eye, and from there it was just downhill. Got put in a lovely submission by Ellenberger. I think he was going in and out of consciousness, and eventually he tapped, and the fight was over. He shouldn't be in this fight. Literally a few weeks after that display there, I think this is his last fight in the UFC on his contract, and this will be the last we see of him. But I like Erick Silva here to take Josh Koscheck out and in the first round. So Erick Silva by TKO. And in the main event, we have Demian Maia against Ryan LaFlare. Now let's be honest, this is not a main event in 2015, but it could be a very competitive fight. I do believe that Demian Maia's on his way down. His performance against Alexander Yakovlev was not inspiring at all. The guy is one of the best ground games submission guys in the whole UFC. He will go down as one of the best in UFC history, but it hasn't really shown much. Probably the last time was Rick Story, and even his face, he just looks like he's aging. He's been out a little bit. Won that first round against Rory McDonald, and then just gassed completely and got obliterated. But he's a guy you can never count out, and down in Brazil especially, he'll be wanting to get the win in front of his home fans. Ryan LaFlare, I think he's 12-0. Last fought John Howard in Abu Dhabi last year. All of his wins by decision. He's not one of these guys that is very good in one place. He's just a well-rounded mixed martial artist with a really good gas tank, where I think Demian Maia's gas tank isn't great. So that's the reason I'm going to go with Ryan LaFlare. He'll try and keep it in the feet, keep Maia away. I think Maia will get him down at one point, but I think LaFlare's got enough to get back to his feet and just take the decision victory and do enough. Where Maia, he'll have to try and get the fight to the ground. I don't see him winning any other way. I know his striking's come on a lot since he went to King's MMA with Master Rafael Cordeiro, who's shown just wonders with Dos Anjos and Fabrizio Verdum. But just over 5 rounds, I cannot pick Demian Maia here, so I'm going to go Ryan LaFlare. So that's my picks for UFC Fight Night 62. Come follow me on Twitter, WillMartin7MMA. If you want to come play counter move with myself or any of the guys I play with, the good guys on there, come and do so. And check out my betting articles on Kingdom MMA. You can find them on Twitter as well. And I'll be back for UFC Fight Night 63, Mendes versus Lamas in a few weeks' time. So keep your eye out for that. Take care, all the best, and I'll see you soon.